Today I'm going to show you how I meal plan dinners for the whole week as a registered dietitian, as a mom of two, and as a mom of a picky eater. I have some tips up my sleeve. I'm Casey Barnes, Registered Dietitian Nutritionist for toddlers and young kids. Go ahead and subscribe to my channel so that you can always find nutrition help when you need it. And hit the bell so that you're notified when a new video is up. So if you're stuck on how to cook for your picky eater, or feel like you can't break out of the rut of the same few foods for them, by the end of this video, you'll know my exact step-by-step process to make it so that I'm only making one meal for dinner. I'm not completely catering to their needs, but I'm still able to get them something that they are going to actually eat, and it doesn't take up a whole bunch of time or stress on my part. So to avoid having that stressed last minute, fridge is empty, what am I gonna get, what am I gonna make, start planning ahead a couple days out. Step 2 is that I review the week's schedule so that I know what is coming up, what nights I have some more time to cook, what nights maybe I need to do a crock pot, instant pot, or maybe I just need to whip something together in 10 to 15 minutes, start to finish, and be done. I'm at a point where I can finally be realistic with myself, and instead of planning from a place of like, oh, I'm gonna make these great meals, like I know that weeknights are busy, they're rushed, I'm tired, sometimes I'm stressed out, and it's usually not easy to put something together, especially if you have kids at your feet, on your hip, it's hard. So just anticipate that it's not gonna be easy. Try to make things easier for your future self and know that you're going to appreciate it in the moment if you plan something on the more simple side. Now let's talk picky eater specific tips. You're gonna at least start with a rotation rule. So if they're eating the same thing for dinner every single night, we want to at least have 2 foods that they're rotating between. So now instead of having the same thing 365 days a year, they're whatever's 365 divided by 2, and that's what you're working with now. So if they're really only interested in chicken nuggets and mac and cheese, for example, Sunday night's chicken nuggets, Monday night's mac and cheese. And the goal is to build towards serving those favorites only 1 to 2 times a week. It's an important message for kids to learn that they're not gonna get their favorites all the time. I don't get my favorites all the time, Dad doesn't get his favorites all the time, neither do the kids. Everybody, we're in a family, we have to be able to be flexible and adaptable, and that is hard for a picky eater. But the sooner we start showing them that you're not gonna cater to every single thing being exactly how they want it, the better off they're going to be, and the easier it is gonna be for you to actually cook for the whole family. So if we're only serving their favorites 1 or 2 nights a week, what are we serving the rest of the time? What we're going to do is incorporate a safe food into each and every meal. A safe food is something that they regularly eat and like. It does not have to be their super favorite food. It does not need to be the main dish. It's just something that you're going to include in the meal that they can reasonably fill up on. You know that they like it. They might not eat it, but you know that it's something that they like. So you don't have to go make them something separate. You know that there's at least one option at the table that they can eat. That's okay. You don't need to have a full plate, a full spread of all things that they like. They're never gonna learn to like new things if you're not at least introducing those new things alongside the foods that they already like. Now, I'm gonna plan out my meals for next week in real time so that you can see exactly how this process goes for me, what I'm thinking through as I go through it. My son is a little bit of a picky eater. He's gotten a lot better, but I'm gonna pretend as if, we're back in the early days where there's only a handful of things that he'll really eat, and how I plan with that in mind. I have some shortcuts up my sleeve too, so I'll tell you all about those. Now, if I'm working with a really picky eater, I'm gonna wanna write out a list of their safe foods so that I always know what I'm working with. I have a free download of this on my site. It's in my picky eater starter guide, so you can get that link and download it and print it out, and it has different categories so you can place their safe foods into those categories. Then what I would do is on my list, I'll write the safe food first so I know what that is every day. And remember, it does not have to be their favorite food. It does not have to be the main dish. It just has to be something that can fill them up. And Sometimes you need to use milk along with something with a safe food. So say the safe food's like a fruit or a veggie, you know that's not really gonna fill them up. You can always add milk, you can always add bread. The point is that they're still participating in the family meal. Their nutrition might not be ideal. Like, I just have to say that. A lot of times I think we hope that we can still get them that really good balanced diet, and that's not always going to happen. Now let's talk about my shortcuts. I have 2 ebooks that I use all the time. That's why I made them, because I'm a busy mom and I need easy ideas. I still want to prioritize healthy foods, like good nutrition when I can, but I need it to be easy as possible. So Simply Satisfying Meals has 30 recipes that are Instant Pot, Crock Pot, Sheet Pan, One Pot meals, really basic, not a ton of prep work, and delicious meals that I would want to make for the family. So usually what I end up doing for a picky eater is I'll separate out components of the things that I want to make so that I can still make what I want, but also have something for them while they're still getting exposed to what I'm eating. And then the other one is the Dinner Time Survival Guide. The Dinner Time Survival Guide is a 6-week meal plan, but I use it more for ideas. I don't necessarily follow the meal plan, but it's 15 minutes or less, start to finish. It does use shortcuts. It's better if you live in the US, just because I do recommend different products, and I know that they're available here. They're not necessarily available other places. You can still get ideas and probably find similar things, but just a warning, if you're outside the US, you might be like, I have these products here. On my website, you can get the combo Simply Satisfying Meals and Dinner Time Survival Guide together, and it is discounted that way. So I will share that link below. So I pulled up Simply Satisfying Meals, and I'm gonna see what I wanna make this week. Okay, so I'm in the mood for stir fry. I'm not talking to you, Alexa. There's a teriyaki sheet pan stir fry, so I'm gonna do that on,
Sorry, I don't have an answer for that. By the way, I can learn your voice to improve your...
I'll make that on Sunday. So in these recipes, we have lazy levels for each of them, levels 1, 2, and 3. Level 1 is like a dump it and forget it. Level 2 is slightly more involved, but still not major. And then level 3 has like 3 or more steps. So everything is still easy, but that gives you a sense of like, okay, this is how much time and energy I have. I'm gonna go by these lazy levels. The teriyaki sheet pan stir fry, I know that I can serve rice on the side, and that rice is gonna be my safe food. So I'm gonna make a safe food column. I'll show you this in a second. Safe food, and we know that's gonna be rice. Monday is when we have that super busy afternoon and evening, so I have to make something in 15 minutes or less. I'm gonna go to the Dinner Time Survival Guide. I know that I have some turkey burgers in the freezer, so I'm gonna do the turkey burgers with broiled zucchini. You broil everything. It's really quick, really easy. The zucchini comes out really good when you broil it. It's like very surprising, but it's delicious. And then the safe food there is gonna be the burger bun. And I'll give my kids options, what they wanna top it with, and a lot of times it's avocado or cheese, and I'm totally fine with that. They just kind of do it themselves, and they are happy. Tuesday, I wanted to do an Instant Pot meal, so also on I'll pop this up on the screen so you can actually see it, but we have the method listed alongside the recipes in the recipe list, so you can see we have SC as slow cooker and IP as Instant Pot, but I know which ones are Instant Pot, so I can easily pick an Instant Pot recipe. Okay, I want something with a lazy level of 1 for this night, so I'm gonna choose the baked sweet potatoes with taco toppings bar. This is another one where they can kind of choose what they want to top theirs with, and so when we have a sort of like DIY kind of meal, it works really well for picky eaters because they can pick and choose what they want. Nothing is already combined, and for a lot of picky eaters, that's what trips them up, mixed textures, mixed dishes. So you can have something where they can just choose different components and be very happy. For that night, the sweet potato is not a safe food, but I know that cheese is, and cheese is gonna be in my taco toppings bar. So I know that I at least have that cheese there. There'll be some other things too, but at the very least, I know I have my safe food covered. Now for Wednesday, I have a little bit more time, but I'm thinking that I'm gonna be wanting pasta. So we're gonna put the easiest spinach and cheese lasagna for that day. Now, this is a mixed dish, and I really don't expect that my son will eat this, so I know that I'm going to have to do something on the side. That's totally fine. I'm just gonna bring some rolls out of the freezer, and that will be his safe food. And I'll probably also do a salad, so I'll make sure that I have some raw vegetables that he likes to eat. Thursday, I'm just gonna put in as a leftovers night because I know we're gonna have something left over from earlier in the week. So a lot of times I end up moving the leftovers night around, just depending on what's going on, when ends up being more busy or what. So I have that thrown in there. And then Friday is when I do super easy. So this is usually when the kids get their favorites, like chicken nuggets, mac and cheese, pizza. We'll do one of those. I know that I have pizza crusts in the freezer. I have the cauliflower kind, which actually is good. I was very skeptical about that, but I know I have the cauliflower pizza crust. My son does not like sauce on pizza, but I know that if we do make it your own, that he will be happy. So we are gonna do make your own pizzas. And the safe food is gonna be the pizza dough, pizza crust, whatever. Okay, so this is what I've got. I didn't put a safe food on the leftovers night because that's usually like a wing it kind of night, but I know that if I need to, I can pull out like yogurt, or we can do avocado toast, or just pull out something really easy if there's not already leftovers that the picky eater is happy with. Now, I try not to call too much attention to the pickier eater eating different things or not wanting what the rest of the family is having. I find that the less that you can make a big deal about it, the quicker that they can move on to trying new foods. So really try to keep an open mind. Try to always approach the meal with like, they might eat something new, because they really might. But if we come with that negative energy and like already saying you don't like this, or I know you're not gonna want this, or oh my gosh, what are you gonna eat? Then that really sets them up for just sticking in those picky ways and also feeling kind of bad about it. Depending on their age, like they really can pick up a lot on what we're saying. So I know it's hard, but give them the opportunity. And even if you can get them to be helping you as you make dinner, or even just watching you describing what you're doing, that's gonna help too. I have a ton more resources for picky eaters on my blog. Like I mentioned before, I have a free picky eater starter guide, which you can get. So if you're feeling stuck with your picky eater, you do not have to stay feeling that way. We can get them from just looking at a food or shoving a food away to actually trying and tasting it. But it can be a long road depending on how hard it is for them to be around new foods. It depends on the kid. It's not all your fault. Some of it is genetic. So don't go feeling badly about yourself. But I hope that this gave you some tips on how to plan with your picky eater in mind by incorporating those safe foods, knowing that you don't have to make just the things that they like, knowing that it is okay if they voice displeasure about what you've made. That's okay. They're not gonna get their way all the time with their food and in their life. So it's a good, safe place to start working on this, of knowing like it's not always gonna be exactly how we want it. We're still okay. If you get into the habit of catering or fixing every time, oh no, this is cut the wrong way, then you're gonna get locked into doing that all the time, and they're gonna feel like uncomfortable when it's not exactly how they want it. So we want to try to foster that feeling of like, I am okay, I can still eat this food even if it's not exactly the way that I want it. If this was helpful, please let me know in the comments below. And again, subscribe to my channel so that I am always here for you when you need help with your picky eater.